going on, guys? Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing another laser unboxing, build and review. So we just need to move over to the workbench. I got everything ready to go, and then we'll find out what laser we've got and what comes in the box. So here it is, guys. It's a big old heavy box. It is the Creality Falcon 2 Pro 22 watt. So yeah, Creality got in touch with me. They sent me an email, asked if I'd like to try out and review one of the lasers. And of course, like always, I'll always say yes to a laser, as long as it means, you know, I get to have a bit of fun with one and try out something new. I've always been a big fan of Creality. I've had their 3D printers in the past, both resin and FDM, and they've been absolutely amazing to use. So when I moved over to lasers, it'd be interesting to see how they do actually on the laser market. So this is going to be a very interesting video, I think. So we'll go to the overhead camera now then. We'll crack them open, see what's in the box, see how easy it is to like build and put together. And yeah, we'll run a couple of products and we'll see how well this machine actually works. So like I said, this is 22 watt. We've only ever really done a 5 watt and a 10 watt diode in the workshop. So it'll be interesting to see how well a 22 watt actually works. We've got the box up on our bench, guys. So we're going to crack them open, see what's inside. And hopefully this is going to be a nice, easy build. Just like the 3D printers are. Okay, right. What have we got? Something big and heavy. Alright, so that's one panel, I'm assuming. Okay, so this laser basically sits in its own enclosure, and these red pieces of plastic are to obviously protect. So it's like the stuff they make the goggles out of, the safety goggles. So that's that. So we'll put that to one side for now, somewhere safe. Oh, they've got some pretty cool stickers there. They're funky. I've never had free stickers. Air assist. So it comes with an air assist pump. Very rare, juicy diode lasers coming with air assist pumps. All the tools, cleaning equipment, key, USB, USB 3 to USB-C. We'll figure out what they are for later. Power cable, extraction fan, power brick, another pair of green goggles. The amount of them I've got is unreal. A couple of screws, Allen keys, and the USB cable. So that's obviously for the connection to the laptop. This is the 22 watt diode. That thing's an absolute beast. That's a chunky boy, that is. Put that somewhere safe. Air assist hose as well. I haven't even set this up and I'm already excited. I'm liking where this is going. I do like it when machines as well do come with extra stuff like air assist and stuff like that, because it means you haven't got to, you know, look online to find the right one you know will work. Some free samples of wood. Oh, for calibrating the machine. There's a couple of loose thumb screws there. I'm assuming that's for the laser head. I'll put them in my pocket for now, nice and safe. This thing is big. Like, I knew it came in a case like that, which is why I thought it was big. But then the actual cutting area on this is massive. Right, let's take this out of there. Oh, this is obviously why it's so heavy. Right, let's take that down and then we'll take the box off. Okay, let's have a quick look at the instructions. It just tells you everything that comes with it. And then optional extras like a fume extractor, rotary kit, and leg risers. So assembly. Already I can see how well made this thing actually is. This is just not your bog standard, extruded aluminium frame. This is solid. This is similar to my K40, the CO2 machine. But I'd say it's built quite a bit better. And it's got a much bigger cutting room. Right, let's try and find out. Nice LED strip as well. I'm trying to unpack everything out of the box. Oh, it even comes with its own camera. We all know I love a camera with a laser. Comes with a spike bed. I'll leave them in there for now, actually, because I'll probably lose some. There was a part of me hoping this would just come built, but most of it is built. There's not much to do with it. I haven't got to put the belts and all that together myself. I haven't got to put all the components on there, the limit switches and stuff like that. So, right. Instructions says aluminium strip, a light on auto. Oh, so there is. So that one goes to the left. That one goes to the right. And then the camera, is that the camera? Use the top support bar to connect the aluminium strips. So that, I'm assuming then, would be the camera. That goes that side. This goes that side. So the camera goes in there like so. And then this would go two bags of screws. And it was this with the Allen keys I need. What ones are we going to be putting in there? The countersunk head screws, so that's these. So it says clearly in the instructions to use the countersunk screws, which are those ones. And then we just tighten these in there. So there's just the 4 screws, countersunk screws holding these to that, which is nice and simple, very sturdy. I definitely need more than one camera as well for setup, so I can show you like close-ups of me doing this. But you'd probably find it boring just watching me put a bloody screw in. So these to the front. Slide the transparent film over the back. So we've got to get our first piece of red film, and that'll slide into that one. Oh, so there's 2 tracks. So slide the transfer into track 1, which is the inside track. So I don't know if you can see that on the camera. There's an inside track and an outside track. So the inside track is track 1. So this goes on the inside track. Right, kind of in, it's fallen out at the top, but I'm fine with that at the moment. So continue on the track, slide the transfer in the air, snap the film into the sport bar. We've done that. So now there's a... Right, so there's another bar then that sits over the top, so that'll hold the top part in. And that'll go... that way, I believe. Okay, we're in. That wasn't that hard to do. Now we just need to fix that in place, again with the countersunk screws. Okay, that wasn't actually that hard. You just gotta take your time with it. But that's fine. And then the front piece, there's another piece that comes like this. So it's got there's like a hinge, is it? So we can possibly. And this will go into the second track. Track B, is it? So this front piece goes into the second track. The back one went into the first track. And then this goes, and this should just slide down. Let's try and move some of these things we need. So that slides up and down because that's the door. Then we can slide that all the way. Right, okay. I was wondering why it disappeared in the instructions then. And then slide the Shetland cover over the front track too. Use the counter sunk head screws to install the light panel. Right. There are little cutouts on the sides of the frame here, so this light will only go in there one way. And then obviously you've got the power cable for the LED light, which this is the bottom when I flip it around. So that needs to be there. But again, I don't think it'll allow you to put it in upside down anyway because of the cutouts on the actual frame. So far, yeah, a lot easier than, you know, your standard £150 diode laser. So that's all done. So we've got a working door here. So when we flip that over, no problems with that at all. Big plate that come on the top of the box. This is obviously the base. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's a lovely smooth motion on there. The spiked bed. So this slides out. Right, so I've installed the spikes. I've done half of them up there and half of them down here, and there was one for the middle. Obviously, it's completely up to you how you want to do that or if you use them at all. They aren't really useful, mind. So we've got that. So connect the protective film on the sides. So now we need to put this frame over the top. Not leave them behind. So that just sits on the top loose like that, but you do get these side panels, which will then obviously fix to the frame and fix to this, so that it'll keep it all in one place. So let's have a look. So we're looking at the front of the machine. So this, the ducting goes on the left side. So first time we use the one bag with the countersunk. I know these are the ones with the round head screws. Is it the same Allen key? Oh, it is. Happy days. So it's just going to be a case of going all the way around this side and around the other end. So we'll come back once that's done. Right, I've got both side panels completely fitted on. Very simple to do. It's just, I think about 10 or 12 maybe of those round head screws on each side. A couple of things I noticed when I was putting that on. How I didn't really notice one of them as I was unboxing it. I don't know. Here on the top corner, I knew there was like obviously a holder for the extraction fan pipe, but there's an actual extraction fan in there. How I didn't notice that, I haven't got a clue. Another thing I noticed with these panels, you can actually, they only go on one way, as in there's like holes cut out like where the switches and stuff go. But there's holes cut out on each side. So if you're having this set up in your workshop and you need the extraction fan on this side, this panel will actually fit on this side and you'll still have a cutout over here for where the USB camera cable goes. I thought that was a fantastic little feature. Because I've read things where people buy the third-party enclosures for their diode lasers, and the extraction fans are only on one side. And I thought that was a fantastic little feature, so I do like that. Right, so that's all fitted. Connect the fan and light panel cables I need to now. So we can lift this lid. So inside we've got a couple of cables we need to connect up. I just need to work out where they need to go. So the extraction fan cable is an actual connector. There's a connector on both sides of where the LED strip is. So again, you can have it whichever side you want. So that's connected to there. With the LED then connector, the connection is just at the bottom there. So another thing I just noticed now as well with this machine, things on this just keep blowing my mind here. So there's a connection there for the air pump, which is this. It's got that weird connector on the end. That just connects into there. And also the hose that come with it. So you connect the air hose onto there. And how I thought this was going to work when I unboxed it is you'd have to run the pipe into there and connect it yourself with like a zip tie or something. But no, on the side down here, not only is there a power cable for the air pump, but there's also an air inlet pipe you connect it to. And that pipe then runs all the way up, all the way across, and it bows at the bottom where the module is going to sit. So now we just need to connect the power cable. So we've got the brick, which this connects. Oh, again, it's another one of those funky fittings. I'll connect over here. And then obviously we've got the kettle lead then, which will go into the brick and down into the plug socket. So before I turn it on, I'm going to connect the laser module. Again, it comes in one of these anti-static bags. So looking at the instructions, we've got a connector there for the air. So the air hose goes directly in there, and then the air hose sits very neatly in there. So I can just plug that in there. Let's mount this. I remember I put the thumb screws in one of my pockets. Tighten this up now quickly by hand. Two of these, I don't think the two are needed because the one is secured in quite well, but we'll put the two in because it is quite a heavy module. So this is the power that comes from the actual module itself, and there is there's a small little box here where it controls the air inlet and air outlet, and obviously this needs to be plugged in there as well. On the front, there's a couple of, I'm assuming they'll light up. So if the air one's lit up, it'll detect the current airflow is passing through. So if you want air assist on when you're cutting or engraving, make sure that's lit up. Fire, it'll detect if there's any fire. Flame is detected, recommend to stop the current work immediately. All right, so they actually flash a different color. So with the air, you've got solid green to let you know there's large airflow, solid orange, small airflow, flashing red, no airflow at all. And with the fire, green if there's no flame detected, orange if there is a fire hazard, but then red if there is an actual fire. And then you've got lens then, and this actually detects whether the lens module is dirty or not, which is pretty cool. So green, the lens is not dirty. Orange, the lens is slightly dirty. Recommended to stop and give it a clean. And then red, it's really bad. Don't do any work. Make sure you clean it before use. So obviously the lens, you can take that off, and there's your lens. So it actually detects if that is dirty or not, which is really cool. So this is a really advanced module. It's not just like your standard cheap Chinese like 5-watt you can get. That is really advanced. So Creality definitely know what they're doing when it comes to making lasers. And this is a first now. So looking at this, with diode lasers, they tend to give you something to obviously align the focal length and sort that out to like the perfect distance to use the laser. But this one actually gives, to show that, it's slightly stepped. So engraving and cutting the thickness of basswood up to 3mm, cutting the thickness of basswood to 6mm, and then cutting basswood 6mm up. So, I mean, for most stuff, for like engraving and cutting like 3mm, you're probably just going to want to use the middle one most of the time. But yeah, that's pretty cool how you can actually change it for different thicknesses. So obviously you're going to want it closer to the actual material to cut thicker material. Let's power this on for the first time. So obviously we need the keys that come with it. So I'm just going to put the key in front there. So we'll turn the switch on, and then we'll turn the key on. Ooh. Right, so let's have a look. So you can see these two blue lights here indicate the door is closed, and you'll see they turn like an amber color when they turn off. So let's press home. No problems there at all. So I'll see if I can get this set up now to the computer on Lightburn. We'll see if we can get the camera all calibrated and everything. And whilst I'm doing that, I'll go through a couple of the specs of the actual machine itself, obviously where you can purchase it, the price points and stuff like that, and a couple of the details of it. So like I said, this is made by Creality, a very big name in the 3D printing industry. And obviously they have, I don't know when they started doing them, but they've been doing lasers for a couple of years now at least. So far, I'm very happy with the build. It's very easy to put together, much more simple, again, than those cheap DIY lasers. It comes with what you need for a laser, really. You've got your air assist pump, you've got your extraction fan, you've got an enclosure. I've even got a knife bed as well, which I thought was a nice little add-on there as well. So this is the Creality Falcon 2 Pro. So at the moment on the website, this model, so this is the 22 watt model, it's on sale for £799. They do a 40 watt module as well, which is a bit more expensive. And again, they also do a 60 watt module, again, which is a bit more expensive. So yeah, this is the 22 watt laser. It is a diode laser, and the optional power is 22 watts. And the machine power itself, the max power on the machine is 120 watts. So with a laser spot then from just 0.08 millimeters, your cuts should be a lot more accurate than they would do with the cheaper lasers. Now this has got a working area of 400 millimeters by 415 millimeters. So an absolutely massive unit of a working area there. And it does say on their website, the cutting ability, they can do up to 10 millimeter basswood in one pass. And it says you can do 10 millimeter acrylic in one pass as well. I'm assuming that's going to be like your solid dark colors, you know, like solid black acrylic, because diode lasers don't do well with clear acrylic. We will give it a go. They don't tend to work with cutting like clear colors and completely transparent acrylic. So this laser does come with 5 safety guarantees. It's got 5 directional sensors. So if the laser head hits the boundary, the machine will stop automatically and a buzzer will sound. It's got a security lock design, so very professional use only. An active stop function, so this machine will stop working in the case of an accidental tip, flip or drop, with the buzzer indicating and sending an alert. There's also an emergency stop button on the front as well. So if an emergency does occur, you can press that manually and just stop it immediately. And also the laser protective cover. So it's made of a high efficiency colored filtered glass material, and the protective cover around the laser head will effectively prevent the laser from dazzling the eyes. It does have a very user-friendly design. It's got a compact design with a push and pull opening suitable for a small studio. The drawer design is very easy to pull out and clean. As I mentioned earlier, that drawer does come out and it makes it very easy to clean any debris or anything in the bottom. And it does also support offline creating as well. So there's a memory card slot on the side where you can put a micro SD. So if you save them on your computer, you can easily slot that in and work offline. Right, so let's have a look at a couple of the tests we've done now. So again, we've done slate, business card, balsa wood, and black acrylic with some amazing results. Before we get into that, but let me show you one thing that actually came with this packaging, which I thought was an absolutely amazing gesture. They didn't have to do it, Creality, but they did, and it's this. Now, if you don't know what this is the calibration pattern for Lightburn's camera. Now, I've got another laser with a camera on it, and I had to print my own out, and I didn't know what size it needed to be, and I couldn't get it to work perfectly the way it should. But with this, honestly, it worked flawlessly. I thought there was like a problem maybe within Lightburn, and it just wasn't recognizing the pattern. But yeah, it was just how I printed it out. This worked so well. So Creality, thank you very much for including this. I'm going to keep this forever, for the rest of my life. I'm going to keep it in the most safe place I can think of. Anyway, let's get into our tests. Let's have a look at the slate first. So again, we did look at it slightly earlier. So you can see there is quite a lot of detail in there, quite a lot of shading. You can see parts of his armor as well. Is that I probably went a little bit too high power because the mask has come out mainly white. Like you can see the seams and stuff in there, so it is really high detailed. So I am happy with how that turned out, but I just know next time I'm going to do a bit of slate, I just need to take it down like 5%. Let's have a look at the business card. Again, no complaints whatsoever there. That is so clean, and thanks to using the built-in camera, I was able to just line it up. So I popped the card in, used the camera to find out where it was, and I've put the logo dead center in there. Honestly, I couldn't have put it any more in the middle if I tried. But yeah, absolutely amazing. And again, that was high speed, very low power. It absolutely blitzed through that. And if you haven't seen my recent video where I explain about stuff I make and sell online, these business cards are something I started doing very recently, and I've been doing really well with them. So this machine does these absolutely amazing, no problems whatsoever. Let's have a look at the wood. I knew there was a reason I don't really like using balsa wood, because it cuts really nice and really easily. But engraving on it, like the engraving isn't the worst. I've had worse engravings on other stuff, but it's not as good as it would have been if I used plywood. So you can't really see like the speeds and powers I've put it at. They are very faint. And for cutting, I went from 100 millimeters a minute in increments of 50, and then it just kept cutting through everything. So when I come down to about here, it was 700, 800, 900, and then up to 1,000. It just kept cutting through everything. So this machine can very comfortably cut through a 3 millimeter balsa wood at 1,000 millimeters a minute at 100% power. And with the power, I went 50. I don't know why. I went 50, 70, 80, 90, 100%. So everything cut fine in the 100%. I probably could have gone a little bit faster with 100%. But 50% was pretty good as well. And for the engraving, I started at 4,500 millimeters a minute, and I went in increments of 500, now all the way up to 10,000 millimeters a minute, which it did mark it there at 100%, but you can comfortably again go in the mid ranges for it. But again, we use the settings from our test engraving and test cut to engrave that, which, like I said, is not the worst thing. And cutting it out did it in one pass. I believe it was 70 millimeters a second at 70% power, roughly around there. And on our scrap piece of acrylic, I slightly adjusted what speed to go at. So I went from 50% power up to 50% power. Because it didn't mark it on wood, I knew there was no point doing it on acrylic. I went from 4,500 millimeters a minute only up to 9,000 millimeters a minute, because I knew there was no point going any faster than that, because I wasn't getting anything on the wood. I wouldn't get much on the acrylic. Cut in then, we went from 50% power in increments. Well, we went from 50% power. I don't know why we missed the 60 again. And then we went 50, 70, 80, 90, 100. And it cut through 50 millimeters a minute, no problem. 75 millimeters a minute as well, exactly the same. 100 millimeters a minute, the same. And then 125, I didn't line it up that well, but the 125 millimeters a minute at 50% didn't go through, but 70% went through fine. And exactly the same for the 150 millimeters a minute. So again, we probably could have gone a little bit faster and then got, 100% at maybe even 200 millimeters a second. But I was happy with the results there because that's what I was going to use. And that's where we used our test grid. So I went 6,500 millimeters a minute and I went max power of 30%. And I've done this in dither mode. And that has turned out really nice on the black acrylic. You can see obviously where it's gone from the darks to the lights, and even the background where there was some flowers as well, which were kind of blurry in the photo, but they've turned out really well. And then we cut it out at 75 millimeters a second at 70% power. And again, it's cut out fine in one pass. So there we go, guys. I do hope you enjoyed that. That was my unboxing and building and reviewing of the Creality Falcon Pro 220 2-watt machine. As I mentioned, with this machine, it is got a price tag of just £800 at the moment on sale. But I know that is a little bit more expensive than you would expect with just one of your standard cheap Chinese lasers. So not only are you getting a powerful 22-watt module with this machine, you're also getting a full enclosure with the machine. You're getting a larger area to work with, so over 400 by 400. You've got the built-in webcam, you've got the air assist pump, and you've also got the extraction fan as well. So all that built-in combined, this machine is an absolute steal in my opinion. Now, it was a little bit of a learning curve for me. I have used more powerful lasers, but they've been CO2. With this one being a 22-watt diode laser, it was quite a bit different than using your standard 5 and 10-watt diodes. The powers and speed themselves had to be tweaked quite a bit compared to what I've been used to. But once you've done a couple of test grids like I did today in Lightburn, you do get the feel for it, and then you can obviously just program whatever you want into it. Now, in my eyes, this machine is more of a cut-in machine. Now, your cheaper 5-watt machines, they're very good for engraving images on like things like slate and acrylic. Now, this machine does all that, but like I said, in my opinion, it is fantastic for cutting through wood. Today we done the 3mm wood at quite a high speed and a decent power, and it flew through it. So you could do cutting projects with this, no problem at all. If you haven't seen the video I uploaded recently, which I'll try and put up in the top regarding how you make money with your laser, you can see exactly the type of things you can do with this laser to be able to start making money straight away. And you'd easily be able to pay off this laser yourself as well within a month of obviously using it and making stuff to sell. So yeah, I'd like to give a massive shout out to Creality for sponsoring this video and sending me the laser to build and review. It's a fantastic machine. I'll definitely do another video as well, doing one big project with it. So we might cut out some wood and do something like that as well. Maybe engrave a large piece of slate. Maybe try even clear acrylic or glass and see how well they fare as well. So yeah, guys, don't forget to check out Creality in the links below. Like I said, it's a steal for the price of this whole machine for everything you do get. And the simplicity of actually being able to build this machine alone compared to the cheaper diode lasers. For somebody who's had to build those machines as well, compared to building this one, honestly, this one is so much easier to do. And don't forget to check out Creality's website, guys. Like I said, this is an absolute steal. They got plenty of other products on there. They don't just do lasers as well, so definitely check them out. Again, link will be down in the description. So yeah, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video. Ta-da now.